What unethical experiment do you think would be interesting if conducted? Breed giant-sized or mini-humans intentionally over generations to see how big or small humans can become. Edit. Guys, it says unethical. Therefore living to a ripe old age in great health wouldn't exactly be necessary for the experiment. Clone a known serial killer. Make, let's say, 24 or so. Intentionally raise them in a variety of environments including the one they were raised in. Track how many, if any, become killers. Testing the nature versus nurture argument. Raising a child in a completely 1960s themed atmosphere and then abruptly exposing them to the modern world when they are between the ages of 15 and 18. We've cloned a sheep. Time to clone a human. I feel like this was probably done behind closed doors already. All this stuff about forbidding doping and steroids. What if we take one professional sport and just say go nuts? Take it all. Backed by actual doctors and scientists. Paid by big money. Let's see how many absurd ways we can push the human body. What can it really do? When pushed to the extreme, cycling or MMA would be preferred. Essentially Lord of the Flies. Take 50 10-year-olds who have never met. Lock them in Walmart or someplace fully stacked with everything they need to survive. Give them no access to the outside world and no way to escape. See what happens. Edit. For the countless people saying, boys and girls alone, this was not anywhere close to anything real. It only lasted 5 days. There were cameramen and support staff who interacted regularly with the kids. And the kids were given direction and tasks to complete. It was probably about as close as people can ethically get to this experiment. But it was not in any way comparable to the real situation. Allow a woman to become pregnant and have a child in zero gravity and allow them to develop there. Perhaps several generations. I wonder what the actual changes would be, both in the womb and early, but also generationally. Gather a group of varied children from different races and places from around the world. Raise and educate them with absolutely no sense of history, nationality, or religion. Purely secular education. Then study to see what prejudices they manage to come up with on their own. What happens if someone has goggles fitted from birth that only allow things to be seen in black and white and the googles are removed at age 25? Brain experiments on living humans. We don't do it for ethical reasons, but it would help move things forward much faster. How many duck-sized horses would it take to beat a horse-sized duck? I'm a geneticist and here is my professional take. I would like to see gene therapy experiments on humans to develop a treatment that would induce, in a controlled manner, congruent myostatin-related muscle hypertrophy. It's a naturally occurring heritable condition caused by mutations in the myostatin gene. Individuals affected by this disease have enormous muscle mass and very little body fat, with no known negative health effects. https en.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/myostatin-related muscle hypertrophy. Gene therapy is now entering mainstream pharma, but only for deadly conditions due to surrounding ethical considerations. Such treatment would be considered cosmetic. Thus I don't see this becoming a regulatory priority in the near future. But considering the effects on fat content, imagine the impact on e.g. the obesity epidemic. And it would be a one-time treatment with lasting effects. We could even make it heritable and turn all of humanity into bodybuilders with zero effort. Just picture the implications. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. Take away a billionaire's money and see if they can raise themselves up by their own bootstraps. Create a not social media site where people who like to think they are really smart go and talk out of their asses. Head transplants. There were some really interesting experiments back in the day involving them. One in the 1970s involved a monkey receiving a head transplant that lived over a week. In fact, they were so interesting and stopped so suddenly it has me somewhat suspicious. What if we bring back the Colosseum? There's so much vitriol and hate for the other side. How about everyone who wants to fight meets up? Hand to hand only. We televise it to raise money for a good cause. Let everyone hash it out. And then the world becomes a lot more peaceful. Raise an entire village of people who believe Star Wars is real. Raise them under, let's say, imperial occupation. Hell, we could even stage a murder of a supposed rebel by Darth Vader. And then suddenly when everyone turns 21, reveal the truth to them. Do corrupt politicians feel pain? The Olympics. But athletes have free access to all performance-enhancing drugs and biotechnology possible. No restrictions. See how low the 100 meters record can go. How far a javelin can be thrown. Build a massive open-air habitat and put a ton of newborn babies in there. Then, they use very subtle methods of supervising and protecting them while providing no human contact whatsoever. Hopefully, this ensures the babies are completely feral by the time they are children. Once they are grown enough to take care of themselves, we can sit back and watch as they slowly reform into something resembling a civilization.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.